Hello, hello, hello. This is Liz and Russ, and we are here with Author Adventure. We are talking
Welcome,
about what are we talking
welcome,
about?
welcome, welcome. So,
For sure.
Liz,
So
I
this,
know, uh, I know both of us are probably not 100%. I've been kind of down with, I don't know, I have a stomach bug or something going on, but
right? I've caught this cold allergy stuff again. I have it a week, and then I get better for a week, and then it comes back, and then the weather changes, and then I get it again. So
yeah,
I'm a little stopped up too, but we're going to go on
we're
anyway
going to keep
because
going. The show must go on,
the
and
show
we're
goes on no
we're
matter what.
excited to have you here on the show.
Yeah, we really are. So today, this is episode 25. And so Russ and I are sharing. We were supposed to have a children's book author on, but he had emergency surgery. So we're going to see him later in February or March, but we wish him well. Bobo Nitschkevich. And so we will see him and Linda at a little different time later on, be talking about his children's book, his series called Up in the Sky, which is just delightful about the moon and the stars and clouds and rainbows and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, Russ and I, we wanted to do a little bit of a shameless plug here today. We're talking obviously author adventure, the
Yep.
art and business of publishing. And so we have a new book that'll be coming out. It'll be coming out in April, actually, probably around April the 16th or 17th to coincide with the Texas Library Conference that we'll be at in Austin, Texas, with about 5,000 librarians, school and public librarians. And so we'll be launching our new book then, where we'll be talking about the 5 secrets, just like we're here every week, talking about the 5 secrets to success that all authors should know. If you're a new author, you're not going to know these secrets. And even a lot of authors who have been in the game for a long time don't know these secrets. So that's why Russ and I are here every week. We're sharing these secrets. We're sharing tips about writing. We're sharing strategies about publishing. We're sharing those launching.
Creating, publishing, launching, marketing, and distribution, and occasionally bonuses about technology too.
Yeah, for sure, because there's so many new things coming up. There's new platforms, there are new tools, there are new apps, and all of these things help you in one way or the other. It might reduce your time that you're spending on certain things. It might enhance or accelerate your success. So we want to tell you about those things. And as Russ says here on the screen, you got to take some action.
Take some
Uh,
action.
People ask us all the time, well, how do I start writing, or how do I write a bestseller? Well, you just start.
You
You
just
got to
start.
you got to write about your experience. You got to write about 1, 2, 3, or step 1, or step 2, or step 5, or 6, or 7. Just get started. But the other thing that we really, really encourage people to do, and we're going to talk more about this on a webinar that we have coming up on February the 10th. So be looking, be sure that you subscribe, be sure that you follow us on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube so that you'll get notices. But on February 10th, that's a Friday at 1 o'clock Central Standard. That's going to be what, 12 o'clock Mountain Standard
One
Time? And
o'clock Mountain Standard, two
okay,
o'clock Central Time.
Central Time. And then so it'll be 12 o'clock Pacific Standard, then I
Yep.
guess.
Yep.
So that'll be on Friday, February 10th. It's a webinar where we're going to be talking about these different 5 secrets. We're going to be sharing some more about the technology and the things that you need to have in place. And we're really going to talk about a plan, because you really need a publishing plan, a plan of action.
Mhm.
This is what you're going to do during the writing phase. This is what you're going to do during the publishing phase. This is what you're going to do during the launching phase, during the marketing phase and distribution. Because what happens is most times people wait, Russ. They write, and then they wake up and what do they say? I got to publish this book.
I
And
got
then
I got to do something with these words on these sheets.
how do I get this out in front of people? How do I sell this book? And then they do the publishing piece and try to get it loaded to all the platforms. And today there are multiple platforms, and that's why we're here. We're here to help you make decisions about what's best for you and what's best for your author adventure and journey, because everybody's journey is not the same. If you've been watching our shows, if you've been going back and listening and watching the recordings or listening on the podcast, you know that these authors that we've talked about, we've already talked to 20 plus authors over the last 6 months, and they all had a different journey.
Yeah.
Didn't they, Russ? I
It's
mean,
all unique too. And it's, depending on where you are in your life, where your goals are for your outcomes. And Liz has seen all of these combinations start to finish multiple times. And
uh,
from a technical perspective, creating content and marketing and producing some actually awareness about your book and what's going on, that's something that I've been doing as well. So we're between us, we have a few days of experience that could actually accelerate your visibility and build your authority in the market.
for sure. So that's what we want to help you with. We want to help you with your reach. We want to help you with your respect. We want to help you with your revenue, because a lot of people, they understand that a book is like a marketing tool, especially if you're in business, or maybe you're in weight loss or surgery, maybe you're in financial business, maybe you're in maybe you're a fitness instructor, a nutritionist, a health coach, or something, a life coach.
Yeah.
And people understand that a book helps them with that, but there are a lot of other revenue streams that are related to that book. Sometimes it's an ebook, sometimes it's a paperback, sometimes it's a hardback, sometimes there's a companion journal or a workbook. Sometimes there's, an audio book. These are all revenue streams that once you have the manuscript, once you have the content, you can publish it in multiple ways. You
Mm-hmm.
can, you can take pieces of it and blog and post it on social media. You can also do a podcast like we're doing here today. You could, live stream, and this gets pulled down as a podcast. So,
You
in
can create
addition,
a course. You can actually share some additional information unique to that book.
exactly, exactly. Maybe you've got charts. Maybe you've got a lot of people are graphically oriented. They're visually oriented, so they like to do the visual chart instead. Where you
Mm-hmm.
draw a circle with something in the middle, and then you draw all the things out around it. There are infographics and things like that you can create from your book material, and you can send those out to people. So there's a lot of things you can create from that book that are free ways to get people in the door and interested in you and interested in what you're doing. And then there are a lot of ways to use that content to get paid. And so, if you've got a live stream at a certain point, you can do ads on that live stream. You can sell sponsorship. We've got a couple of friends been on here before, Russ Edge, D. Scott Smith.
Yeah.
And, Russ didn't know any better. So he just went out and got sponsors for his show because he didn't know he couldn't. Nobody told him what to do.
Nobody
He didn't
said
know.
no.
Nobody said no. And he went out and said, "Hey, can we give me $300 to the local bed and breakfast?" And they said,
Yeah.
"Sure." Sure, they knew he was talking to people every week, and
Yeah.
so so you could do
Be an
sponsorship
ambassador. Be the advocate for your own business.
for
And a book is a great way to start a conversation up as well. So,
right.
how many times have you had people ask, come back and say, "Well, oh, you're the author?" It's like, holy cow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole different experience. It's really astonishing when we're out somewhere and we've got a booth, and we're there as authors, and people are just wandering, walking by, and nobody's talking or saying anything, because at first, people are a little bit shy. Our authors are a little bit scared to talk to people. And if you're like that, that's okay, because we're here to help you. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say, hey, this is Arlene. She's the author of these children's books right here. And I
Yeah.
can't tell you how many times people have stopped, turned around, and walked back. They were like a table away from us, but they came back to the table and said, "You're the author of these books?" There's just something about being an author that people are drawn to, because they want to do it themselves, but they won't spend the time and the effort and the investment that you spent. And they know it's a big job. They
Yeah.
know it's a big accomplishment, so they want to acknowledge you for writing the book, even if it's a children's book. It doesn't have to be a 300 or 400 page, fiction book like we talked about with Jay Stephen, or nonfiction, or Tim Lewis, who was on the show with us last week, who gave us some great tips about writing character and scene and feel and all the backstory and those kinds of things for his fiction books. So there's a lot of steps and a lot of parts and moving parts to publishing, and we're here to help you with that. So that's why we're working on the courses. We're going to have these courses coming up. They're going to be available in February. These courses are self-paced, so you'll be able to do them at your own pace. If you want to go through all 7 lessons in one day, you can. If you want to do one lesson a day, you can do one lesson a day. You want to do a couple of lessons,
Totally up
whatever.
to you.
Yeah. So tell people a little bit more about that, Russ. What are they going to cover, or what are they going to learn in a couple of these courses?
Well, what we wanted to do is make sure that you have, and it's one frustration I have with a lot of courses, is they give you a piece of the pie, but they don't give you the ingredients of the pie. And what our goal was to explain each step of the way in detail, so you have a full understanding of the start to finish and some of the challenges of each and every step of the way. Because writing a book is only a piece of the puzzle. That's, sitting down, the discipline to, write every day is one piece of the puzzle. Editing is another piece of the puzzle. Making sure that the launch process is part of the process, that you have kind of dialed in, and you have a guide by your side that can actually help you navigate that. So you're not putting the wrong format in, and you're not uploading the wrong information at the wrong time. And then also, some of the things that you can do in advance of the launch, the ability for you to actually build a community around this idea that you're publishing is really going to be supportive of helping the publish process get a little smoother, because you have other people helping you and supporting you in the promotion of this activity. And
Yeah, and
then,
most people want to be helpful. Most people
yeah,
you find, I
absolutely.
mean, our communities are so great. I mean, online communities, we've really found over these last 2 or 3 years that digital communities are great communities. You got people all over the world. And, if they can help you, they will. But, you got to make it easy for them. And so that's what we teach you. We teach you the steps, we teach you the process, we give you the emails, we give you the copy to say, this is what you say to somebody when you're asking them to help you promote your books. This is what you send them. This is how far out you send it, because there's timelines and there's timing and schedules with all of this. Most people know about writing deadlines, but there are publishing deadlines, there are marketing deadlines. You need to have a schedule all the way along. And so that's why on this webinar that we're going to do in February, we're going to really talk about the planning process and the 4 or 5 steps within each of these secrets: writing, publishing, launching, marketing, and distribution, that you need to be thinking about ahead of time. We're going to talk about the numbers a little bit. We're going to give you some costs, because, this is a business. And if you want to be in the business of writing and publishing and have an author career and make some money at this business, you're going to have to invest in that business. It's like
Mhm.
any other business. There are certain costs. It doesn't have to cost 50, $100,000, but it probably does have to cost a few thousand, maybe 5, 10, or 15, depending on what your goal is.
Yeah.
So it's always back to what the person's goal is that's writing and publishing. Some people want to go out and speak. And so, they know that they're going to make their money back in the speaking. So they're willing to invest 2 or 3 or 4 or $5,000 up front to get some help to get accelerated. So it takes them 3 months instead of 12 months or 2 years or 5 years or even 10
Or more.
or even 10 years. Yeah, for sure. So, because we've met people that have been writing that long, and maybe you're one of
Yeah.
those people. Maybe you're out there watching and listening, and you've been writing your manuscript for a year or 2 years or 3 or 4 or 5 years, it's time to finish up. It's time to have somebody else look at it. It's time to send it to somebody like Russ and I, take a look, really see what you're doing, see if it's where it needs to be. Is it good enough? Do you need to fix some things? Do you need to move some things around? You're not going to know that until you let some people read it. So, a couple of our folks have mentioned, getting into a writers group and finding a local group around you. If you don't know any authors, go online and look them up. Look and see where they live. I mean, you can check people's social media, their
Yeah.
Facebook, and I'll say I'm from Dallas, Texas, or I'll say where I grew up or where I'm living or where I went to school or where I work. And from that, you usually can tell kind of what area somebody's in. So find some people in your area that you can talk to. And if you don't have anybody that you can one on one with live face to face, there's always a group online that you can become a part of. And just ask those people, hey, would 4 or 5 people like to get together on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock or Thursday at 10 o'clock? It doesn't matter what time or date, just pick a
Yeah,
date.
just
And
find a mutual time that's beneficial for the group. And here's the benefit, Liz, and I know that we've talked about this many times on the Author Adventure show, is it gives you a new perspective of what others are doing and what's, allowing you to make it a little easier to accelerate the outcomes. That's what Author Adventure really does. This community allows you to accelerate your activity and your progress, and cut through and get you the results you're looking for.
Well, and find solutions to your problem. Maybe you need a graphic designer to do your cover. Maybe you need an editor. Maybe
Yeah.
you're looking for an agent or a publisher. We're talking about all of those things. So if you're watching and you're listening and you go back and listen to the shows, you can go to our YouTube channel at Author Adventure. You can go to our website at theauthoradventure.com. And when you get there to the website, you can sign up, you can get some free downloads, you can see our packages, you can see what the options are for us working with you together. And then you can also see the free programs that we have, because we're offering a lot of free content. All of these shows here are free. Like you say, we've got some of our courses, we've got some handouts, and all of those kinds of things that we're going to be giving out. We'll be giving away a gift probably for our live event on this webinar. So when people come and sign up there, if you stay to the end, we're going to have some special giveaways throughout that show and toward the end. And so we really recommend that you put that on your calendar. That's February the 10th at 1 o'clock Mountain Standard, 2 o'clock Central Standard. We'll just be on for about 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, talking about some publishing things, about how to create your blueprint or your plan for success. And that's what we want to do. So we hope you'll join us. If you know somebody that's a writer or that wants to write a book, please encourage them to show up too. Look for the notice on that. That'll be on our LinkedIn post, or it'll be on our Facebook post. And we'll be tagging it here in the show notes today. So you can always find more information. You can connect with Russ, or you can connect with me at Author Liz Lawless. You connect with Russ Johns. I guess it's just Russ Johns on everything, isn't it, Russ?
Except Twitter. I got one account that has Russ Johns, DOTCOM.com.
Okay.
But if you search Russ Johns, you can track me down, and you can always reach me at bookruss.com. So
right, bookruss.com. So you can check him out there, and then and we'll probably be having some office hours where we're going to do some Q&A coming up, maybe in February and March, and so we'll set aside maybe another extra 30 minutes a week and just answer questions. So if you've got questions, we want you to put them in the comments. You can always comment down below. James Kunkel,
thank you, James.
Nice to see you.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, so if you've got questions about writing, maybe you're stuck somewhere in your writing process and you don't know what to do, just go to the next thing. You know, if you're stuck, maybe you're stuck at chapter 3. Well, if you've done an outline, maybe you know what chapter 4 and chapter 5 is. I mean, that's one of the things we'll do. One of the writing assignments we have for you is to do your table of contents if you're writing nonfiction. And then maybe if you get stuck in chapter 3, maybe you can skip down to chapter 4 or 5 and
Yeah.
write that experience or write about what that subject matter is. Maybe it's teamwork, maybe it's leadership. You can write about that, and then that'll spark your imagination so you can go back and finish chapter 3. You know, so don't let yourself get stuck. Don't walk away for too long and just leave it and say, I'm stuck. I can't figure it out. You can always figure it out. You take a couple hours off or a day or two off and come back to it, but don't quit completely just because you get stuck. Go find somebody to help you.
And
There
maybe
you
an
go.
accountability partner like Liz and Russ might be a good idea
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So, there all of these things that you're doing are really part of the process. So, well, Liz, I really look forward to this. I know that we wanted to do this. I wanted to wrap this up, and because I'm not feeling really great right now.
Right, right. You're not feeling that great, and I'm not feeling that great. So we're just
Yeah.
going to finish up and say, hey, check us out, theauthoradventure.com. You can find our 75 plus articles at lizlawless.com. You put in your email and say none, and that'll give you access to all the free articles we've got there. Go to our YouTube channel at Author Adventure and subscribe, and look for that in our Facebook pages and our LinkedIn. And for sure, follow us and let us know what you're writing about. We want to know what your subject matter is. We want to know what your dreams and your goals are. And this is a safe place for you to share your writing dream with people that are going to encourage you and they're going to want you to be successful. And we're going to show you the way. If you don't know the way, we're going to help you find the way. So thank you so much for watching the Author Adventure. Go back and check out our other 24 episodes. They're great interviews with wonderful authors. You're going to learn so much from each of them, the struggles, the successes. And
Mm-hmm.
there are some obstacles, and we're going to tell you that too. We're going to tell you the things to look out for. We're
We
going
don't
to
want
tell
to
you the things
sugarcoat
to
anything.
avoid. To avoid so you don't waste a lot of your time, you don't waste a lot of your money, and you get this project down the road, because that's what we're all about. We're about helping you get your writing project down the road to completion so that you can start generating respect, reach, and revenue. So, hope you join us next week. We're here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And next week, we'll be talking to Mary Jackson and Thornton Klein. They write some
Oh,
yeah, they write some teen stuff. They write some music, and they have some scripts that they're doing. So Mary has a series of children's books as well, and so we'll be very interested to talk with them. She's over in Tennessee. I'm not sure where he's Mr. Klein's from, but maybe he's in Tennessee too. But we'll be hearing their author journey, and she's a special advocate for special needs children. So that's a very interesting, and obviously that's a topic that she's writing about as well. So I'll be really excited to talk to Barry and Thornton next week. I know Russ will too. So we'll see you next Tuesday at 5 p.m. right here on this same channel.
thank
Bye
you so
bye.
much, everyone. Enjoy the week.